Okay, it's starting to be difficult to see what we're doing. We select it and we can see, but something that will help is if we go shading and wireframe unselected. That way we can kind of see what we're doing even when it's unselected. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and tackle this challenge right here. There's a lot of ways you could do this, and I'm not going to say one way is better than the other, but we're just going to try a certain way and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to select this polygon. I'm going to extrude it. Control E. I'm going to scale it down and move it over, much as we did with the windows up top. And then I'll select this one, Control E, scale it over, move it over. And in the center, Control E, scale it, move it over. Select this one, Control E, scale it. That, and I can move these two over just a tad. I could take these down just a little bit or leave them where they're at. Go ahead and leave it like that for a second here. So how do we get this rounded top here? That's an interesting challenge. I'll go ahead and select this. Lots of different ways we could do this. But let's give it a shot. Control E. I'm going to just scale it in a little bit here, like that. And then I'm going to go to edge mode, grab this edge right here and take that down just a little bit there. Okay? Something like that. Now, I'm going to select this edge loop here. Actually, let's go to vertex mode. Vertex. And I'll select these vertices right here. All four of them, holding shift. And we're going to go to mesh, or edit mesh, and add divisions here. And gives us an interesting effect there. But now we have all these other extra subdivisions right here. So using these, we can move, we can kind of try to fake this arch here by moving these points around. So I'm going to select these two on the end, and I'm going to move them down a little bit. Then I'll select these two right here. I'll move those down just a tad. And so you can see we kind of have an arch started here. It's not a very good arch, but it's a start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add even more divisions. I'll go back here. I'm going to got these selected. I'll go mesh, edit mesh, add divisions, and I'm going to take it up to, I don't know, 7 divisions. Add divisions there. Okay. So now if we select these points here, I can shift select those two and move them down. Then I can shift select these two, move them down a little bit as well. Maybe even move them just by scaling them out just a little bit. Select these 2 points and move them. Select these 2 points. Move them down, scale them out, maybe move them up just a tad. And I can kind of get this arch going here. So is it amazing? Yes. Maybe not. Maybe I'll take these two down just a tad bit more. And if we'd added more subdivisions, we probably could have gotten that perfect. But now what I can do is go to faces, select these faces here in the middle, and I can go Control E to extrude, and I can back them up. Okay, I see that's not working right, so I think I accidentally added an extra polygon out here. Hopefully that didn't happen to you. So I'm selecting that and deleting, and there you can see now we have this nice extruded portion right here. So let's go ahead and do that again over here. We'll Control E to extrude, scale it in a little bit here, and then we'll go to edge mode, select that edge there, and we'll go ahead and bring it down just a little bit like we did before. And then we'll go to vertex mode, select those 4 vertices, and edit mesh, add divisions.
Check, check. Let me interrupt real quick what I was doing. I want to show you a mistake I made when I was recording these videos that really screwed my project up, and hopefully you won't make the same mistake, so I'm putting this in there just to warn you. we've been extruding a lot, and watch what happens when I've been extruding in this project. I didn't even know it, but I'll go Control E and go up. I've got 30 extrusions going on there because I accidentally forgot to turn this off. Edit Mesh, Extrude, and then right here in this menu system, I have it set to 30 divisions, okay? So if you're experiencing some problems, hopefully you'll catch this video before you make a mess of your project. So I'm gonna take that back down, hit apply, and now when I extrude, well, we'll extrude this one, Control E, it will only extrude once, okay? Hopefully that helps you out, especially if you were experiencing the same problems I was. You may not notice the problems as much because I stop and edit the video, but there'll be long 5-minute pauses where I try to figure out what on earth is going on. That's what was going on, so I'll let you get back to the tutorial now.
Okay, so for over here, instead of selecting the vertices, we could just add divisions right here. That's really where we need them. So I'm just going to add divisions to this edge right here. So I'm going to select this edge and go to Edit Mesh, Add Divisions, and then I'm going to crank this up to 7 because if you remember right, that's what we used on the last one. So I'll just type in 7 there, hit Enter, and I will go back to Q. And now you can see we have 7 selections here. So if I go to Vertex mode, there they are. Okay, just going to select these and move them down. As you can see, we're running into some big problems here, and this is a huge problem. And it's going to happen to you when you're modeling, so it's okay that it happened to me. We'll see if we can't fix it and solve it together. So I'm going to continue moving these into place, scaling them out. And then we'll try to tackle that evil-looking parasitic worm called multiple or overlapping polygons. We do not want overlapping polygons. It's a bad thing, and here it is happening to us on our first modeling. It's a cruel world, isn't it? So we've got to find a way to solve this because that's not going to render right and it's going to look bad. So how do we solve this? Well, I'm going to go to polygon mode here and I don't see it. So maybe I've got to go inside the building here in the back. See if I can't figure out what's going on here. I'm not seeing the overlapping polygons anywhere. And they're disappeared. So maybe that was just a rendering artifact. The point is, don't freak out if you see something like that. It's going to be okay. And actually, I think I know what it was. So if you look over here when we did it with the vertices, we ended up creating separate polygons. The rule of thumb with polygons is you want quads if you can help it. You don't want something like this that has, let me go to vertex mode. Look, I've got 4 points for the quad, but then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra points that aren't ending anywhere. This can create problems, especially when I'm doing things like subdividing. You see? So, I'm going to go ahead and fix that there with something called Mesh Tool, Multicut Tool. And I'm just going to take this and click on the point, then click on the edge, like so. So then I will right click and I'll do it again. Click on the point, click on the edge, right click, point, edge, click, right click, point, edge, right click. And what I'm doing now is I'm creating quads or polygons with 4 sides instead of that mutant polygon that we had there, which can cause a lot of rendering problems. Don't worry about that too much. Things like that will come up and you're going to learn a lot more as you go. I'm going to go ahead and hit Q. I'm going to go back to component mode and I'm going to extrude this. Hopefully we won't have any more problems here. Okay, looking good. So now we are getting somewhere. Oh, another thing I did, and you can see I have about 1 million subdivisions in here. That is because earlier on I was in Mesh Tools here and Extrude, and I went into this dialog and I put 30 divisions on my extrusion. So I'm going to change that back to 1. That's probably been causing half of my problems here, and that won't be the case with you, so that's good. I'm glad you did not see me do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply, and now that won't happen anymore. Okay, because now I've got really complex and heavy detail where I don't need it. Okay, I'm going to stop the video there. We had a lot of mistakes that video. The important takeaway is that mistakes will happen. Don't give up. Don't freak out. Just calmly keep going, keep learning, and it'll start to make sense. And I'll show you what I know, and we'll go from there.